but again, just to remind everybody, the theme that we adopted for Insurance Day on the Hill this year is supporting those who support us. And to kind of implement that theme or figure out, as a planning committee, we wanted to figure out a way that we could actually use that theme to show that as an insurance industry, we really do support Iowans in our communities and in our companies and otherwise. And so one of the things that we decided to do as a planning committee was to identify a program that we could make a contribution to. And it just seemed to be a natural for us this year to identify a program that supports our National Guard soldiers because of the recent deployment to Afghanistan. So with that, I'm gonna stop, and I'm gonna first turn it over to General Schwab, Brigadier General Greg Schwab, to talk to you a little bit about those recent deployments.
Well, everyone's well aware of the deployment, but the spin I wanted to put on it was just kind of a then and now. Last year, of course, the state and the National Guard in particular was focused on preparing the soldiers for the deployment to Afghanistan. Now, of course, they are engaged in the mission, and quite frankly, from our view, we can't do much to help them with the mission, so our role is supporting their families and loved ones here. It's actually twofold. We've got two missions right now as an organization and with partners, is let's support the families and loved ones of those who are deployed, but also we're already focused on how are we going to reintegrate them when they come home in a few months. So they'll be coming back. Everyone focuses on the reunion, but after the reunion, there's the reintegration with families that they've been separated from, loved ones. Many of them will be back in time for this fall semester, so we need to provide them assistance in getting back into schools. Some of them will be going back to their jobs. How do we do that? Some of them may have special needs. Well, we as a National Guard are focused on that mission, but we have several key partners in doing it. One of the key partners, and that's where I'm going to limit this, is the Iowa National Guard Officers Auxiliary, and that's who we're focused on today. So that's my perspective on today. Thank you, Paul.
And with that, we'll just turn it over to Sheila Dietz, who is the president of the Auxiliary, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about the programs and let Sheila talk to you about.
Thank you, Paul. I think most of you are probably familiar with our Bear Hug program. This is our signature program, and of course it's the one that tugs at people's hearts because we provide every child of an employed National Guard member with a teddy bear, and we give that to the parent, and they give it to their child and children. So that's the one you may be most familiar with. But we also have as our goal to support families of Guard members. And we do that in a variety of ways. If you've read anything in the news recently, you know that suicide among military personnel is up. And when we talked to people about that, they said, well, there are two reasons that are most pertinent. One is relationship issues, and one is financial issues.
Thank you, Sheila. Governor, do you want to make a few comments?
I would. Well, first of all, you know, the last thing you talked about was Gold Star families, and unfortunately, I want to begin by expressing my condolences to the family of United States Army Specialist Sean Muir from Coon Rapids. He died on January 29th in the Helmand province of Afghanistan in support of Operation Enduring Freedom. According to initial reports, Specialist Muir died of injuries sustained when an improvised explosive device detonated near his military vehicle. I think our thoughts and prayers are with his family at this very critical time. So it does kind of bring it home that we do have people in harm's way every day, and unfortunately we will and have suffered casualties. So to the family of Specialist Sean Muir, our thoughts and prayers certainly go out to them. And finally, I just want to say for this Insurance Day on the Hill, we are pleased and honored to have you all here today, and I think it's wonderful what you're doing. Paula, thank you for helping organize this and all the organizations that are represented here. You are a very important part of the Iowa economy. We're proud that Iowa is a strong insurance state. We have a lot of great people that are involved in the industry with the companies and as agents, and really serving in communities all over the state. And also I want to thank General Schwab for being here, and also Sheila. And I think it's a great program that you have in how you're reaching out to the families while we have these men and women deployed at this very critical time. And to see the generous contributions from the industry and from the individuals and companies, I think it's really heartwarming. It doesn't surprise me knowing the kind of people we have in the state of Iowa. Just a couple of weeks ago when we had the inauguration, and we used that as an opportunity also to honor and recognize our National Guard and military and their families. We had a number of people here in the rotunda for that event, and we also started a scholarship for the children of deceased military as well since 9/11. And we're just excited about what you're doing. And on behalf of the people of Iowa, I just want to say to the insurance industry, thank you for your leadership and your support for the National Guard and their families at this very critical time in our state's history. Thank you very much.
Pretty big.
It's a big check. It's long anyway.
As you can see, after 3 weeks of a little bit of effort, we were able to raise $11,400 for these wonderful programs. If you've ever been to an deployment, and again, we've had a number of them last fall, this is probably the most visible thing that the auxiliary does with their money. It really touches at your heart strings when you go to these deployments and you see all the little children running around with these teddy bears. But as Sheila said, it's one of the last memories that a child has before their parent is deployed, and they just they take these teddy bears home and they just hug them. And can't wait for their parent to return to them. So thanks again for your stepping up to the plate and making such wonderful contributions for the programs.
Some of you may not know that Paula is the mayor of Johnston, where Camp Dodge is located. So there's another connection. There is another connection with the National Guard. So
we love having them in our community.
And in addition to what Paula said, if you haven't had the opportunity to read the little tag on the bear, if the bear itself doesn't tug at your heartstrings, that does. And it was written by a
5th grader from Johnston who is now a senior in Wisconsin. But the little girl, they went to school and they said, we need someone to write a poem. And they picked this little girl out. Could I read it to you?
Sure.
It won't take long. And she did this one afternoon, a 5th grader.
Carolyn,
and it's
why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Carol Ann Dries, and I'm also a member of the auxiliary, live in Johnston.
Okay.
Carolyn has been with the BEAR program from the very beginning, so she really has ties.
But it says, I'm a bear and you're my friend. We'll stay together till the end. I'll make you feel better when you're down. I'll make you smile instead of frown. I know your parent isn't here, but please don't cry, don't shed a tear. I'm here to help you when you're sad, when you're missing your mom or dad. Hug me tight and kiss me too, 'cause where they are, they're missing you. And plus, America needs them so. You're so brave to let them go. And that was my